Hi guys! Let's make this drawing of Mirko from My Hero Academia inspired by this recently released Funko Pop figure of her. This figure shows her doing her signature kick, and that is what we'll try to capture with this illustration. I'll start drawing by trying to capture the gesture with some lines and then roughly drawing the shapes that make up Mirko, while paying close attention to the gesture lines that I made. While doing so, I flip the image just to make sure that the drawing looks right. At this stage, I have started to sketch her expression as well as block in some of the details of her body using some very rough shapes. I continue adding in the details, paying extra attention to the shape of her hair because this will control the composition a lot. I try not to be caught up in making everything right because I know that I will progressively refine the sketch until I'm happy with what I have. You'll notice that I keep on resketching the feet because it's starting to look weird at this point and I'm feeling that the feet is not positioned right no matter how I refine it. Still, I leave it as it is right now and proceed to refining the sketch and trying to make sure that the shapes and volumes that I'm using are correct. You'll see that I keep on refining the sketch, this time paying special attention to the face. I'm not very confident with drawing human characters as I've mostly drawn robots, but ever since buying up some books and video lessons from Mitch Lewy, I've begun exploring drawing humans more, and instead of being all tense about it, I've rediscovered how fun it was. Okay, now, so at this stage, I'm trying to sketch as close to the final inks as I can with a focus on capturing Mirko's likeness and adding small things here and there that I'd like to see in the final art. I'm still kinda struggling with the face, but I guess it's okay. I've also figured out what was wrong with her kicking leg. It was positioned all wrong. The way it was originally drawn made it look like she was doing an axe kick, with the heel as the striking point, when it should look like a flying roundhouse kick of some sort. Well, while we are at it, I guess I'd like to share that for the past 2 years, I've been buying Funko Pops almost non-stop. Mostly My Hero Academia Pops, but a large majority of my hobby money has been going to Pops. I've mostly just bought Gundam and Transformers since 2003, and I guess I felt like I wanted to try other stuff. It started with a Bandai Anime Heroes Naruto, the budget articulated Naruto with the bad articulation, but really great paint job. And it sort of was fresh for me. That aspect of the hobby when you're not buying robots for once, and from then on I went on to buying some Bandai Anime Heroes MHA figures, some statues. I've started collecting amazing Yamaguchi figures, and right now, like I've said, a majority of what I'm buying are Pops. I still buy Transformers here and there, but the prices right now are insane. And with Gundams, they're still very reasonably priced, and I get maybe 4 or 5 a year. But that's because I've been focusing on the building aspect of Gunpla and not the collecting part. Anyway, you'll notice that as I'm inking this, that I draw a very tight sketch under my inking layer before I proceed with the actual inks. I do this when I'm not very confident with the sketch and I want to really get it right. It is time consuming, and I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to ink directly from my tight pencils without having to make tighter pencils again. And oh yeah, it just dawned on me that this is my first fan art of an anime character in decades now. Wow. And to think that I really fell in love with drawing because of Dragon Ball. Drawing anime is really hard for me, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do it, and one day I just might get it. But what I can say is that it's very fun. It's a very welcome break from what I do every day. Hair is a little bit tricky for me because it plays a large part in communicating the action and controlling the composition here. So I try to really give it the attention that it deserves. Anyhow, at this point, the drawing is almost complete, and I'm just adding the thick lines that in hindsight, I should have drawn in earlier so that I won't have to go over the same lines again. Let's keep that in mind for the next video. And yeah, I apologize for the screen rotation. It's a nasty habit of mine where my hand seems to just want to draw good lines at a certain orientation, so I have to rotate my canvas all the time. Watching this is quite dizzying. And another thing that I'd like to improve on with my next drawing video, so please watch the next one. So I'm starting to color this, and I think this is pretty standard cell shading where you block in the colors and add the shadows later. Funny because a few years ago I used to paint a lot digitally, but I stopped when I decided to focus on my line art, and that was when I started to get really good freelancing gigs. So for I guess around 8 years, I haven't really been doing any professional coloring work, but I miss doing so, even if it's just cell shading. So this is really fun for me, even though for most people who are good at coloring, this is really basic stuff. Okay, so as I'm adding in the shadows, I need to remind myself of my light source and where the highlights should be, and if this was a paid gig, I'd be all nervous and stuff, but hey, it's not. So that removes so much of the pressure and makes learning how to color characters more fun. So the drawing is almost done, and I'm just adding in the white lines to help separate the feet from the rest of the drawing. So here's the final art. Now I've added a small box with some action lines to help frame the character and to somehow give it a Funko Pop box vibe and all that. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed drawing this one, and please do comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Pala.